Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
We're just a deadly duo in love that loves checking out some death battle.
Yes, we do.
And so our Halloween episode, Buffy the Vampire Slayer versus Blade. Yeah, we got Marvel versus Buffy. And if you want all of our death battle reactions, we got a playlist in the description of this video. So the way we do this is we're going to watch the first part where they discuss everything about the characters. And then after that, we're going to decide who we think's going to win, why they are. I'm going to place money on it. Real hard-earned money, fake money. And so after that, whoever wins the most money at the end of the Thanksgiving, which is like a month away,
it's crazy.
Then they will decide what our cosplay outfit is for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Currently, I'm in the lead by 15 buckaroos.
Yes, you are.
Yep. Smackers. Dollars. De Niro. That's all I got. All right. Ready to do this?
Ready.
Oh, it's live action too. Forgot about that. That's awesome.
Versus Buffy, the Daywalker versus the Vampire Slayer. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick. And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. They are known by many names. Revenant, Vortalot, Nosferatu. Vampires! When the moon is out and the night is young, these undead demons are out for blood. Fitting then that the greatest foe of those who stalk the night is the one who can walk the day. Blade.
That was his first
really
iteration?
Costume? Hang on. Now there's a man who doesn't file his taxes. Blade is one of the coolest superheroes ever, and basically kickstarted the comic book movie craze. And yet, he is also seemingly the only one who knows or cares that in the world of Marvel, vampires exist. Seriously, nobody talks about this. Blade doesn't need anyone's help. He'll just aura farm by himself. Even Blade's birth was hardcore. Just as the young Eric Brooks's mother was in labor, her attending doctor turned out to be the vampire Deacon Frost. And he drank her blood right before she gave birth. This infused Eric with Frost's vampiric blood, turning him half human, half vampire. A Dampier, giving him a ton of vampy powers, but none of their weaknesses like garlic, holy water, or sunlight. Eric would hone these abilities under the tutelage of vampire hunter Jamal Afari, sharpening him into a blade that would reap the vampire plague for good. Blade is strong and fast enough to toss around 1,000-pound demons and cut bullets out of the air. He can keep up with Wolverine, who can deflect Cyclops' light-speed optic blasts, and his Kevlar DuPont armor helped him take the top of Count Von Stott's castle exploding. He can heal small wounds immediately and sniff out the supernatural with his hypersenses. Also, his fangs can drain his victims of magical energies. After studying the ways of Hong Kong Kung Fu movies, Blade became a master martial artist. Ah yes, the Rufus from Street Fighter School of Kung Fu. While the only martial art he's been stated to know is Krav Maga, we know he's mastered more. So for the full scope of his martial arts ability, we'll examine the Blade movies as performed by Wesley Snipes. By looking at Snipes' training and choreography, we know Blade uses Kung Fu, Capoeira, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Eskrima, kickboxing, Shotokan karate, and Hapkido. Add on Blade's knack for stealthy takedowns, and I guess you could call him Marvel's Batman. Blade's training progressed smoothly until Afari was attacked and had his blood drained by Dracula. Seriously, Avengers, Dracula is real. Why aren't you doing anything about this? He's right there! Forced to murk his surrogate dad, Blade would have to wage his war alone, nursing a wound within him that would never heal. A hole that could never be filled. Not with that attitude. Blade took a page out of the Book of Boomstick
Anti-hypnosis
and filling that hole with every kind of weapon imaginable. He's got so many, they're his apartment decorations. Handguns, assault rifles, and explosives make up the brunt of his firepower. And he enjoys getting up close and personal with his dual acid-etched titanium katanas. Speaking of glorious Nippon steel, he's got a sword made out of adamantium. Specifically, secondary adamantium. A variant of the metal that is mass-producible. It might not be quite as strong as Cap's shield, but it can cut right through heavy hitters like Ultron and the Hulk. Naturally, Blade has even more swords. His Atlantean ones can slice through magical enchantments. The Bird Sword can harm intangible demons. And the Justiciar can slay fallen angels. Yeah, he's got some weird stuff he can pull out of his ass, like a Hellfire shotgun that burns your soul, or hypodermic needles filled with vampire blood. Seems kinda dumb to turn people into vampires, but it does make them more vulnerable to Blade's arsenal.
All that pales in comparison to the arch weapon of hell in Blade's possession, the breathing gun. It is a living firearm that hisses in the presence of demonic forces. Its sentient bullets chase its victims down. The wounds they cause cannot be healed. And if they get lodged in your body, they'll slowly devour you from the inside out. They can even hurt Hell Lords and even greater threats like the Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Blade took everything he had and fought his one-man war for almost 100 years.
He's battled hordes of vampires while skydiving, infiltrated the Pentagon, and even took on Spider-Man like Miles Morales, who could absorb the energy of a bomb that could destroy Harlem. Blade's even bested the Spirit of Vengeance, Zarathos.
And while he occasionally allied with teams like the Avengers, he prefers to work alone.
I probably would too if they only cared about me when I was helping
Zarathos,
them and not ridding the world of, vampires.
That, and Blade is scared of what
Not
he
a
might
horde
do
of
if he
killer
loses
geese with
control,
Deadpool?
because he does have one classic vampire
Chip
weakness,
Carey.
a thirst for blood. Blah.
Even more so after he had a daughter, Brielle, whom he avoided for fear of endangering her. If his bloodlust does overwhelm him, he will enter a berserker rage, skyrocketing his strength at the cost of his sanity.
Though it does make him even better at killing vamps. He's made a cottage industry out of whooping Dracula's ass.
Dracula is unsurprisingly powerful, capable of summoning a thunderstorm that covered all of Boston with a wave of his hand.
Drac apparently didn't hold a grudge though, since he eventually made Blade the sheriff of Vampirsk, a vampire nation in the ruins of Chernobyl.
Amazingly, Dracula has even given Blade some of his own blood, which allows him to shapeshift into multiple forms, like a wolf, a horde of bats, or a cloud of mist.
So he can force his way inside your body and blow you up from the inside out, Ant-Man style.
What is with you with the Ant-Man? Blade's hatred of vampires is only
The
matched
boys.
by his hatred of himself. However, when Brielle showed signs of vampiric powers, Blade finally found a reason to reconnect with his daughter, training her the same way Afari trained him a century prior.
Even after Blade was possessed by the first vampire ever and tried to take over the planet, Brielle put her dad's teachings to the test, saving both him and the world.
And proving that Blade's lonely war need not be so lonely anymore. With his daughter at his side, and also this plant creature pet called Boy Thing, let
That was
Marvel's
the thing.
vampires beware. For should they indulge their unnatural urges, they will be sure to meet their end at the tip of his blade.
In every generation, there is a chosen one. She alone will stand against the vampires, the demons, and the forces of darkness. She is the Slayer.
For thousands of years, a new Slayer would be granted incredible powers and was destined to die young.
Did you ever
in
watch the series,
battle
Buffy?
against evil, passing their powers on to the next
I was very
Slayer,
big into
and the next,
Angel.
and so on.
So
That
I
is,
saw some
until
Buffy
the
when they
newest
had like
Slayer
the
would
crossover
change
things,
everything.
Yeah.
but I never really
Buffy
watched
and Summers.
Buffy.
Not exactly the first girl you'd think is the savior of humanity. Buffy's only goals in life were, in her own words, graduate from high school, go to Europe, marry Christian Slater, and die.
But that would all change when the Watcher Merrick appeared and revealed her destiny.
Like, total bummer.
Merrick trained Buffy in the arts of vampire slang, and she became so efficient that she burned down her school.
Can't believe that movie started such a huge
Forcing
franchise.
her and her mom to move to Sunnydale, California to start a new life, far away from any more bloodsuckers and bad makeup.
Unfortunately, small problem, Sunnydale just so happened to be right on top of a hellmouth, where the boundary between Earth and Hell is permeable.
Yeah, that sounds like the Valley, all right. Along with new Watcher Giles, Wallflower Willow, part-time bad boy, part-time sad boy Angel, retcon sister Dawn, and Xander. Buffy and her Scooby Gang would battle a never-ending series of monsters.
And we mean truly never-ending. Sure, there's the TV show, but Buffy has also been slaying vampires across video
Who else
games,
like in the junk?
comics, and 128 novels. Tens
Whoa.
of thousands of pages of Buffy lore you've never heard of.
But
Damn.
we're just crazy enough to speed read them all.
Buffy carries a variety of anti-vampire weaponry. There's wooden stakes, of course, sometimes dipped in gorgon venom that can turn you to stone. Though she's also experienced with axes, swords, quarterstaffs, holy water, just about anything.
You said it! When she fought an ancient demon unable to be killed by any weapon forged in his time, Buffy introduced his stupid ass to the 20th century.
She's also a master of Aikido, Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, karate, kung fu, wushu, tai chi, kendo, capoeira, and taekwondo.
Buffy apparently thinks Hong Kong's kung fu movie masters could learn a thing or two.
No kidding. Thanks to her Slayer senses, her reflexes are fine-tuned enough
What the
to
hell was
dodge
that thing?
close-range Gatling gun fire, lightning bolts from the sky,
Terminator?
and
Yeah.
even beams of light. She's kept up with another Slayer, Faith, who can dodge laser beams from point-blank range.
Buffy's strong enough to bend rebar, punch this 4.5-ton bat monster into the air, and, smash hard enough to tear apart a building.
Despite her lack of armor, she can survive massive explosions, like the one that destroyed Cephrilion's lair that's bigger on the inside.
She can even fight blindfolded, but if she is injured, she heals fast enough to be totally fine by the next episode.
One time, Angel sucked out almost all of the blood from her body, and she survived. Doubly impressive since Angel's blood draining also drains magical energy.
Yeah, Buffy's own magic makes her weirdly resilient to esoteric attacks, like when she expelled this misty shadow demon trying to possess her body, or when she
surprised you do the
resisted
same
her
thing.
soul being ripped apart and scattered across time.
Or that time she jumped into a vat of boiling liquid so hot it could reduce people to skeletons.
Huh.
She was just fine.
She might not show physical scars, but she sure has emotional ones. Being the Slayer put a huge burden on Buffy's life.
Unable to live normally, she felt isolated, forced to internalize the trauma she faced on a daily basis. Sure, she had friends, but they couldn't understand her unique struggle.
Like when Angel turned evil after he took her virginity and tried to destroy the world. That must be one of those metaphors.
Sometimes the worst enemies are the ones you can't fight and who don't fight back.
Made even worse by her having all the memories of the other Slayers bouncing around in her head, dating back to the Stone Age.
Buffy has dreamt of every battle a Slayer has ever fought, and can call upon those skills in a fight, even subconsciously.
But this includes the memories of their deaths. Countless women violently dying young, a reminder of her inevitable fate.
A fate that came to pass when she fought the Hell God Glory. After leaping
Glory.
into Glory's reality-ending interdimensional hole,
A glory hole, if you will.
Buffy sacrificed herself to save the universe, dying a hero's death.
It appears my glory hole joke was poorly timed.
Finally freed of her unfair earthly responsibilities, Buffy's soul ascended to heaven in perfect bliss. Until her friends brought her back to life in the agony of existence. This absolutely crushed Buffy and, ironically, annihilated her will to live.
Oh, that's rough, Buffy. But with the show renewed for more seasons, she had to nut up and continue her endless crusade against all things Spirit Halloween.
Buffy's battled for 48 hours straight, defeated vampires immune to traditional vampiric weaknesses, and destroyed the
Also
Sword
defeated
of Sodom,
Dracula.
which caused the Great Hanshin earthquake.
And of course, both Buffy and her friends have defeated countless immensely powerful demons.
Like the Queller Demon, which arrived as a meteor and caused the Tunguska explosion, which destroyed over 2,000 square kilometers of forest. Or the Sorrow Demon, which caused a storm that blanketed Los Angeles.
She's also a match for Angel, who survived a blast that could rupture a continental shelf and took hits from Whistler, whose magic contained a bomb that could vaporize London.
She even faced off against the First Evil, literally the embodiment of all evil that predates reality itself.
Forced into battles against stronger and stronger baddies, Buffy clearly needed something to even the odds. The Slayer safe.
It's actually a Bardiche.
Yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna say it. This thing is bullshit.
Containing the essence of Buffy's Slayer powers and created to
Counterpart
defeat
to
ancient
Excalibur.
demons.
Okay.
The scythe can deflect magical projectiles and slice through just about anything. Ghosts, magic, even space itself, destabilizing reality in the process.
The scythe conceived a child with Willow?
Yep.
Worlds.
Guess so.
Good
Don't
luck,
ask.
But instead of chomping on planets, he eats the multiverse. And there goes his head.
The scythe is easily the most powerful tool in her arsenal. In effect, attaining it completed Buffy, as though it were a piece of her she never knew was missing. With the scythe, Buffy was finally whole. being the Slayer was no longer a burden, but a purpose.
And by sharing her Slayer powers with thousands of girls around the world, they all teamed up and kicked the first evil's ass.
Suddenly, the always isolated Buffy had thousands of shoulders to lean on, a sisterhood of Slayers.
And thousands more reasons for any wannabe demon conqueror to stay away from Earth, because unless you want to get your blood all over her stylish yet affordable boots, you'll steer clear of Buffy, the Vampire Slayer.
Blade for $5.
Buffy for 5.
Okay. I was gonna bet a lot more. Going into this, I'm like, there's no way. Blade's just gonna the Marvel Universe, especially since he defeated Zarathos. I was like, Blade's gonna crush Buffy. But then they brought in the little bullshit weapon at the end there that even Boomstick himself said this weapon is BS. So it seemed like that was almost the ultimate trump card. I'm like, oh fuck, man. She seems pretty indestructible now, and if she has that can kill Blade, yeah, I don't know. Then that started get me to question it, so I only went $5 for Blade.
The Sisterhood of Slayers, that pretty much sealed the deal that I was gonna vote for Buffy. Gotta support.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel a strong pull one way or another. I'm like, I could see them throwing this either way, because my knowledge of both characters is so extremely limited. And what they laid out here, it seemed like in each case you got to a point and you're like, oh, well, it's definitely this one.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no, it's definitely this one. And immediately, I really felt it was going to be Blade, even when they go oh, yeah, and then Buffy died. And I'm like, well, she's died in her own, your own hype thing is talking about how you died. It doesn't bode well for you surviving this. But then they did bust out that really cool weapon, and she did come back to life. So she defeated the first evil.
Yeah, and she also defeated first evil, which So if they go the same thing, skill level, probably they're gonna give it to Buffy because she had more I don't know. Actually, no. I don't know how they're gonna break it down between skill, strength, maybe probably skill, durability. And then I don't know if they're gonna have feats in there or whatever, but I'm interested to see how this goes. Plus it's live action, so that's cool.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a live action death battle!
Nice.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like the atmosphere. I also really want to know what's in those drinks.
Is blood gonna pour from the sprinkler system?
That would be cool if they did that.
So she's got a guitar.
We were kings long before they had a name for kings. But now, starved, hunted, forgotten. You have waited long enough. Tonight, we remember who you were. Tonight, we take back what was always ours. Tonight, we feast.
Daywalker.
And Keith, that's just the start.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
The record scratch. She back in Desperado? She got the guitar case full of guns. Oof. To the face.
Ooh.
Oh! 2 for 1. Teamwork!
Yeah.
Buffy's gonna mess it up because Blade's a vampire. Just reflecting off all the... Oh! Disco ball as well. Come with me if you want to live. She was a demon. She'd already been bitten.
She was just a kid.
Not anymore.
Nice move.
Mm-hmm. You're on the same team. Nice. I wonder what their budget was for this. Pretty impressive choreography.
Yeah, it is. Well, and even the effects are nice. With,
Yeah.
Like the...
You out your damn mind?
people burning up from like the arrows and the gunshots.
No. Ooh. It's not a killing blow. He's like, what the hell is this?
Amateur hour. There's always some motherfucker trying to ice skate uphill.
Yeah, I do those. God. Not a beer bottle. The one thing that can bring Blade down. Waiting for this weapon. Oh.
Another sword.
Let's see cut through adamantium. Bring it on.
That's a nice move.
I don't think Buffy's gonna pull it out 'cause Been getting a lot of like little cuts here and there. She's gonna get the ultimate one. Slice him straight down the middle. Busted. Yep. He's about to get nutted. Ooh. Oh.
Cool effect.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Frickin' Buffy.
It's like you got ahead of yourself.
Well done.
You be Blade tenured no longer. I'm surprised. I figured with Blade's many years of comic book history, he'd have the edge.
Believe it or not, Buffy is actually in more comics than Blade.
Really? Man, Blade can't catch a break.
Let's break this down into 4 categories. First up, stats. Buffy's lifted much heavier things and survived more significant explosions.
Like, sure, Blade's strong and all, but he isn't literally fucking buildings apart like Buffy.
Scaling to the monsters they fought, compare Dracula creating a storm that covered Boston to the Sorrow Demon creating a storm that covered Los Angeles, a city over 5 times larger. You might be able to compare Blade to Spider-Man like Miles, who absorbed a bomb that could blow up Harlem, but that's significantly weaker than Whistler containing a blast that could wipe out London. They could both dodge light.
What about
But
Zarathos?
that doesn't keep Buffy from taking the overall edge
You're
in
picking, like-
stats.
Blade's used to being the odd man out, though, so his versatility is just as important.
With Blade's numerous powers and massive arsenal, he certainly could have overwhelmed the more straightforward Buffy.
Machine guns and magic swords are generally gonna beat out crossbows and morning stars. Not to mention, he actually wears armor.
Also, Blade's faster healing factor and immunity to traditional vampire weaknesses kept Buffy on the back foot for a time. Blade wins versatility.
But when it comes to skill, Buffy's got plenty of experience fighting armed opponents barehanded.
Both of them were masters of a similar number of martial arts.
And Blade has been kicking vampire ass for a century, way longer than Buffy's even been alive.
While Blade may have more personal experience, Buffy's ability to draw on Slayer battles dating
Ah,
back to
there
the
we go.
Stone
There it
Age,
is.
at least 40 times older than Blade, gives her the superior skill. Even then, they both had weapons and abilities so powerful they could end the fight instantly, regardless of all else.
They're trump cards. Fortunately for Buffy, she actually countered almost all of what Blade could throw at her.
Withstanding Blade draining her energy with his bite? Check.
Resisting the Hellfire shotgun destroying her soul? Check.
Preventing Blade turning to mist and exploding her from the inside out? Check.
Meanwhile, Blade had no way to survive, say, Buffy's Gorgon venom turning him to stone.
And even with the deadly, it just plain gross breathing gun, Blade did not have anything as potent as the Slayer sight. It could easily deflect the breathing gun's bullets back at him, or use its space-cutting ability to slice through his unbreakable adamantium sword.
Don't believe us? Even Wolverine's adamantium skeleton was cut in half when a portal closed on top of him. That's the same kind of thing.
And Wolverine's beta adamantium skeleton is a much tougher version of the same metal.
Oh, and since the Scythe could kill Silas, a multiverse-devouring god, I think you could take down Blade with a big enough swing.
Giving Buffy the final advantage over the Daywalker.
Really thought Blade had a chance, but Buffy sure put a damn fear on things.
The winner is Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Next time on Death Battle.
Final Fantasy? Or Dante? Clive versus Dante?
Subscribe and join us over to see more Death Battle. Thanks for
Awesome.
watching.
Hell yeah.
That'll be a fun one.
Oh, I can't wait for that one. That one's gonna be awesome. The battle was really long in this one, so I really enjoyed that, and the choreography was great. I think they clearly went for like, I mean, since there's not like a ton of dialogue, they clearly went for like actors that like had like some stunt training, like training already there. They're like, okay, we got that's what's most important for this scene, and like so like I'm glad they kind of went that way.
Yeah, I love the environment they put it in. I thought the effects budget for having the shotguns and the arrows like make people disintegrate and like fire the glow of Buffy's ultimate weapon. They really put budget and effort behind this, and it came out excellent, I felt.
Yeah, it was really good. I know they've done other ones. People recommended us to check them out beforehand. We just didn't have time to do that, but they have other like live action ones. But this is the first one we've seen that was live action, and I was really impressed by it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I was surprised that it was live action to begin with, just because we don't often see that with Death Battle. And then upon seeing that, in my mind was like, okay, I need to mentally lower my expectations. Nothing against Death Battle, but just because, they're not going to be big budget Hollywood or Warner Brothers or Universal or whatever behind them. So like you think, oh, I have to not expect, great stunt choreography and great special effects. And yet they did have it. So just very impressed.
Yeah. And I thought that the outcome, I was worried about the last ultimate weapon. I felt like for stats, again, like they never talked about Zarathos, but they talked about taking him down, but they didn't like have that stat in there when they were just talking about like, they like did compare the two cities, I guess. And then they compared, one other stat that they compared, and I'm just like, okay, those are just only two of the stats that like, almost like there are other big characters, but I mean, she did take care of basically a Galactus but like eating multi universes, which is crazy powerful. I just didn't realize how, powerful the villains were in Buffy's world. Like I was impressed by that.
Yeah. And it has to be said, I won.
You did. You're still $5 behind.
I know, but
you did catch up. Yeah, you did catch up. So let us know what you thought about this battle down below in the comments. If you want all of our Death Battle reactions, we got a playlist for you. Thanks for watching Death Battle, Buffy versus Blade, but just keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.